Hey guys, so I'm going to do a quick review on the DoCooler QKZ VK4. Um, that's what it says on the Amazon listing. DoCooler, DoCooler, but QKZ is I think what everyone knows it as, the VK4. I saw this on another review, and I was interested. They were saying how great it was, and I've seen a lot of the um, 20 sub $20 sub $50 IEMs, and people rave about them, different ones, and some are really good, and some aren't. Some are kind of tinny sounding and whatnot. But I heard about these, and I had done a review on the KZ which was 18.99, like 19 bucks, and it was pretty fantastic. I mean, it had its drawbacks, and it definitely doesn't sound as good as something up in the typically in the $100 above $100 range, and I know price doesn't always matter. Really, sometimes we'll get really great sound quality with something that's under $100, but typically on the wide spectrum of things, the average is, you're going to get better sound at $100 and above than you are at $50 and below. Typically, not always. Now, this one really shocked me. So this QKZ, the VK4, it looks very much and is almost the same size as the KZ, the ZST. And when I saw the kind of carbon fiber look and whatnot, and even the cable it came with was exactly the same. So if you look at the box, I took the ZST and put it in here, and it fits perfect. So this box is the exact same packaging that the ZST came in. So I wonder if it's the same company, same production line, that kind of thing. I don't know for sure, but who knows? Um, the I put these in, and I was very very surprised. So I made some notes. Supposedly sensitivity of 105 dB. They come with a 3.5 cable. The cable is still in the box. I didn't have the energy to use the cable that came with it, because I looked at it and I went, it's just like the one in the ZST. It's just going to be falling out. So I didn't even bother. I grabbed a balance cable I had that I used in the ZST, the same one. I put that in. It fit perfect, nice and solid connection, and very comfortable, this cable. So this is, it says hi-fi here. It's a lot like the TRN cable that you can get from Linsol. It's a really nice cable. If I can find a link to this, I'll put it in there. I've had it for a while now. Anyway, the QKZ, back to this one, the VK4, the VK4. Um, the sound quality, so the detail, excellent. The treble was really good. I mean, as in, I could hear all the details that I could hear even on my $600 plus IEMs. The detail on these was just as good as the Audios, just as good. There was no difference at all on between this and the Voyager. But those two, I mean, the detail on this was just as good. The mids were very good. The bass is really good. So I couldn't find really too many flaws with this. I did have a couple note instances where I noticed that on some songs it seemed like there was this weird cutout, and it wasn't like an electrical cutout like the cable went bad or something. It was like the sound and the bass and the song kind of peaked. Like it had a very high, um, like a very high volume peak on the sound, right? And it kind of dropped for a second and then came back. It's just, that's what it felt like, and it could be some acoustical thing that my ears couldn't understand or pick up correctly. But um, I noticed that, and I noticed there were songs by certain artists, like uh, Diana Krall. There's a song she has called "How Insensitive," and she does a lot of high pitched stuff in that one, and there's a lot of horn, higher register horn playing in that one. And what I found, like horn by trumpet, I mean, is what I mean by that. And what I found is that there was sibilance, and by sibilance, because there's different definitions depending on who you talk to, but sibilance meaning that as it got to that high level, it started to like get fuzzy and vibrate a little bit and be a little uncomfortable to listen to. It didn't sound correct. So on that song, I found a lot of sibilance, which I didn't find with my Fearless, and I didn't find with my uh, Reecho and Peacock Spring One, and I didn't find it with the one I'm about to do a review on, the Audiosense AQ3. So definitely, and I found the same thing with Candace Springs. Um, she sounded good, but there was some sibilance with her as well in certain songs. But overall, I mean, this was a fantastic IEM. And when I say that, I'm taking into account the price, right? This cost me $15.99, so $16. And I'm going to tell you that if I had had this back a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when I bought my ICO OH1, not the OH10, but the OH1, this is better than that set. Absolutely better than that set. Canis Moondrop Pro, this is better than that set. This has way more detail, much better bass. The mids are just as good. This isn't as good as some of the other stuff, like as the Theo Audio Legacy. This is not as good as that. It's not. And by good, I mean, that's a very subjective term, right? It's based on my hearing and whatnot. But what I find with, as you move up in the range, is that they use a slightly better quality driver. Maybe they spend a little more time tuning. And what happens is that the higher end ones, typically, not always, but typically, like the Legacy, for instance, they have a fuller sound. Like the mids sound good. They sound full. There's nothing missing in there. You don't feel like there's a frequency that's been left out, and it feels this kind of hollow sound to it, right? And then too, when I listen to an IEM or headphone or music of any type, I want to feel good when I'm listening to it. Like, this sounds good. It excites me. It may not be absolutely correct. It may not have the same bass or the same treble as another, set of speakers or set of IEMs or set of headphones, but it's something about it is different and it excites me, and that's what I really want. This is like that, and I would say that this could go on the 3 IEMs that I keep, right? If I'm going to keep a set, because usually what I do is I listen for a while. If I really like it, I might keep it for a month or two and listen to it a lot, and then sell it, and then I buy another one, and then I do a review for everyone to see. Um, I might keep these. I don't know. For $16, I can't get over the quality of sound that these put out. I'm not going to say they're as good as the Audio Legacy, um, but they're darn close. They are very, very close. And the really significant thing about that statement is that there's only one driver in here. There is no balanced armature. It's just one DD, one dynamic driver in here. And it's really hard to believe that they're getting the kind of detail in the treble that they're getting on this. So I don't need to say too much about these. For $16, you cannot go wrong on these. Other thing, they're easy to drive. I didn't have any problem driving it off of. I didn't have to crank the volume up on these. I feel like this could be a really good candidate for playing off a phone and sound really good. And in fact, I gave them to my son for a while. He's like 21, and that's all he does is play them on his phone. He's not going to be messing with DAPs or amps or anything. He just plugs into his phone. If it works, great. If it doesn't, he doesn't care. He plugged these in, and he said these sounded great. He loved them. So for $16, you can get so close to a $150 set of IEMs. And I'm going to tell you that I've had IEMs over the past years that were far more expensive. I've had a $180 pair of IEMs that didn't sound as good as these. So you can't go wrong with these. That's my opinion. Now, if you're serious, if you're like an audiophile type, you're going to have to swap the cable out, or you're going to have to like tape these things down because they're going to fall out. This manufacturer that makes these and makes the ZST and the others, I mean, here, I'll take the cable out. I'll just show you real quick. All right. So there's the cable. I'm not sure how well you can see that. Sorry. I don't know how that's focusing there, but it ain't good. It's not just even that it's thin. So who cares? It's got a mic on it. Yeah, whatever. this is the part that's the problem, is right here, is this, let's see if I can do this. This is the problem right here, is these connectors are too thin. They're thinner than the ones that come on like my balance cable here. So what happens is they don't really bite in well. And you go and you pull the IEM off your ear, and you pull it out and you realize there's no cable attached to it, right? There's no cable attached to it. And the reason is that the cable is pulled out of the IEM. So that gets to be really annoying. And on top of that, if the cable pops off while it's in your ear, then you're going to have a problem where the IEM could fall out and bounce on the floor because the cable's not keeping it from falling, right? If it comes out of your ear, normally the cable is attached to it, it'll kind of swing down in your chest or your shoulder, but without the cable attached, it's going to go on the floor. So if you get this IEM, go and spend another $15, $16 on a decent cable. I think I probably paid like $14 or something for this cable. I think I got it on AliExpress, but you can find cables like this on Linsol's site. You can find them on Amazon. There's a lot of places that sell cables like this. eBay has them. So you just want one that's 2-pin, 0.78, and that's all you need. So totally worth $16. These sound within inches as good as a Theo Audio Legacy, and I stand by that statement. If someone comes back and says, no way, there's no way they're as good as that, and I've listened to it, that's fine. By my ears, these are so close to those Theo Audios that there's no way you can justify spending the 120 whatever on those when these are $16. So there you go. I hope this helps you in your IEM quest. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.